And you're watching Deets World and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you a few practical points. क्या काम नहीं कर रहा? अच्छा कर रहा ना? Okay. I'm going to tell you a few practical points why the S1000Rr M Sport is not made for India or Indian road conditions. So this video might be a bit biased, or like it might sound depressing or negative, but then these are the true facts that I have actually compiled by riding this bike in Hyderabad. So I stay in Hyderabad, so these are the problems that I face with this bike, and I've contacted many people all around India, and the M Sport owners, I don't know about the other owners, but the M Sport owners have confirmed that 80 to 85% of the things that I'm going to share in this video will be the same for them as well. This video is going to be in complete English, so it reaches wider audiences. So the first point I'm going to talk about is petrol. So the region where I live in India, Hyderabad, there is XP95. This is actually a cleaner petrol from the normal one, so you can see that is normal, that is XP95. Although this pump has XP100, which is right there, but half of the time it's not available, and half of the time there is no stock, and see the pump is closed, so it's not working. XP100 is not working, so even though it's there, it's not there. So number one point is going to be the quality of fuel. The high quality fuel that you want for the bike is very limited in Hyderabad. If even you put 5 liters, 4 liters or 1 liter of normal petrol, this bike can understand that this is not premium fuel, and the bike will start knocking. So as you can see how the price ramps up for this bike, so it is easily gonna cross 1000. That is my first gripe with this bike, that is the quality of petrol and the price of petrol. That is, they don't go hand in hand, this bike. So that's the first thing for the M Sport. The point number two is that this bike is very, very, very expensive to buy here in India. It's more expensive than you buy in America, and even more of a bomb if you buy in Germany. Now I can completely understand that this bike is made in Germany and the price is cheaper there because the product is made in that country. But comparatively in America, when I compare the prices of the same M Sport, like the same stock exhaust MSRP, when I compared, this bike is easily 6 to 7 lakhs cheaper in America. So buying an S1000Rr M Sport in India will cost you somewhere around 28 lakhs 57,100. That is the exact amount I paid for this bike. Now that includes the stupid charges called handling charge. Now I don't know why should I pay 40,000 for actually handling the bike, and why should I pay 80,000 for like insurance where I can get it done outside somewhere else, which I actually did, and I saved a bit of money there. So I'm gonna make another video how to save money when you buy a new bike. And the dream which many people have about having an S1000Rr M Sport in Hyderabad or in India is completely ruined and shattered because of the RTO charges and the amount of charges that these guys levy when the bike hits the country, due with the import charges, the RTO, like the TDS 1% and surcharge, including everything. Now the bike is even 1 lakh expensive, so you are easily spending somewhere around 29 lakhs 50,000 for the same bike that I bought for 28 lakhs 57,000 just in a couple of months. So that's how the dream of owning this bike really comes to an halt when you actually check out that price tag. And also when you apply for loans and everything, due to this is a super bike, they are not going to give you the interest rates that they give you for the car. Now suppose if you're buying a car, whichever car that might be, the maximum interest rate on the car that I've heard of is best to best is 7, even better is 8, and the highest is like 8.5. Now if you do know bank managers, if you do know your home branch and all that, you can actually get a bit of rebate and discount. But the interest rate that I got this bike for is 10% depreciating. Now there are two types of interest rate, one is depreciating and one is flat. I'm gonna make another video on this separately, which is what and how do they actually calculate it. So 10% interest you have to pay, and that again costs a bomb. So by the time I'm done with all the EMIs and everything, I'm paying 5 to 6 lakhs extra, so that is 28 lakhs 57,000 plus 5 lakhs of interest. That's if you take a loan for 5 years, so it's like an interest of like 1.5 lakhs every year, and you are further and further and further distant away from owning this amazing machine. Alright, so the next point I'm going to talk about, the point number 3, is mileage. Now this point can be omitted, but then the discussion will be like, you bought a super bike and then mileage shouldn't be of your least of your concerns. But let me tell you, some people buy this bike considering everything, and let me just address the elephant in the room and tell you what mileage will an S1000Rr M Sport give you if you ride it casually and neatly, not hitting the rev limiter all the time and not like abusing the engine. So the current mileage that I am getting with this bike is 14.9. As you can see, consumption is 14.9, close around to 15. So 15 is a mileage that I get for this bike. Now comparing the same figures with ZX-10R and Hayabusa, this bike is way out of their league, because the claimed mileage on a ZX-10R is closely up to 18 to 19 kilometers per liter, and the Busa gives you mileage above 20 kilometers per liter. I have proof for this because there are people in my group riding these bikes, both the ZX-10R and the Hayabusa, like the new Gen 3 Hayabusa, and I've seen their instrument cluster and their odometer. They have ridden their bike over 7,000, 8,000 kilometers, and seeing that figure there, 18, 20, 25 mileage, just like breaks my heart. And 15 mileage for the same capacity of engine. It is the same 997, 998, and it's how the power is produced in this engine and how efficient the Japanese are compared to the Germans. Being an Indian, I have to talk about mileage, because the first question people ask you in India is how much is the bike. The second question is what is the mileage. So the cost is 2857, the mileage is barely 15 in the city and breakfast runs. I'm sorry mom, but I have to do this. So fast that the speedometer cannot even tell you what speed you're riding. Lol. This should have been my first point from the get-go, but then okay, it's okay, we can still adjust. Oh, I can't lean for shit. I am accepting I cannot lean for shit, man. But if I'd give this bike to Vishnu, man, he would have like slept on the road with this bike. Not like sexual slept, but then you know what I mean, slept. The fourth point is the road conditions. Now the part of India where I come from, there are two types of places. One is posh area, one is local chiller basti area. The majority of Hyderabad still belongs in this local chiller basti area. Chiller not in the sense that I am calling the people who live in that area. It is about the road conditions. Now this point is completely according to the road conditions only. So this is the posh area of Hyderabad. This is somewhere around Banjara, Jubilee and High-Tech City. The roads here are completely tarmac. They are properly leveled. There are less to no speed breakers here, and it is a bliss. It is a bliss to ride this bike on these roads. Comparatively, when you go over a speed breaker or when you ride in the other parts of the city, which you have to ride in order to get to this part. Now I started from my place. I had to still cross that patch to come here. And in that patch there are like bad roads, unconstructed roads, speed breakers, speed stoppers. Speed breakers is small thing, speed stopper is like a big camel hump. So that is the thing, that this bike cannot take speed breakers, not even the smallest one. You have to completely go zero if there is a bad patch of road and you have carbon fiber wheels. This point actually goes against you, and trust me, if you go inside a pothole knowingly or unknowingly, or something's gonna happen, you will break your oil sump. I was this close for replacing my oil sump because I unintentionally went over a pothole. It was very dark that day. I had to go home quickly, so I went over a pothole and it was a disaster. The oil was leaking, everything. So what happened is I took it to the showroom. They replaced the aluminium skull crusher, the crusher that comes over the drain bolt, and now the leaking has stopped. So you can get away with it once, but you cannot get away with it twice or thrice, because this bike is so down the road, like it properly kisses the road. And the catalytic converter of this bike is the most horrible thing that the M Sport has to offer. This is the same with the other S1000s as well. If you buy the normal package, standard package, is the same procedure, but on the M Sport it's horrible. It's very bad. So this point will come in why I like this bike. This bike gets hot. 104 degrees Celsius, and the temperature right now currently is 28 to 30 in Hyderabad. This is peak summer, and even if it's the night, it's too hot, man. I'm sweating inside my helmet. If you're gonna buy this bike, get ready to experience some heat in your life. I know that this bike looks hot, but it is very, 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 very hot as well when it comes to temperature, and all the heat is transferred from the left and the right side. Your legs are in for a ride when you ride this bike. Speed breakers, as I told you, now you cannot go, you have to go at that speed. That is 2, 4, 5. You have to literally stop at every speed breaker with this bike, because the because the catalytic converter is so down below, it's kissing the road. This is how you go above a speed breaker in the S1000Rr M Sport. This is in regards to the carbon fiber wheels. You might say they look amazing, but they only look amazing, man. They only look amazing. They only look amazing, but they are a problem. In this part of the world, they are a big, big, big problem. And if you're in India, get used to speed breakers. Gazillion of them. Guess for what service did they charge me for? I went for two things, okay? Removal of foot peg and that replacement, yeah. So what will you charge people for?
Only for the spares, or whatever the...
Right? Right, Gada?
Yeah.
They charged me 200 for removing foot pegs. They didn't charge for that. They charged me for removing the foot pegs.
They forgot?
No, it's not about forgetting. Why are they charging for removing the foot pegs, bro? Removing 2 bolts here and 2 bolts here, I had to pay money, dude.
And you didn't pay anything for that?
No. That is my 7th point why you shouldn't buy the S1000Rr M Sport in India and in Hyderabad, dude. Because people don't know what they're doing, and if you break this bike here, you've broken everything, bro. So you don't break this bike here.
Perfect.
Last point, and yes, last point, maintenance. You bought the best of the best, so it's gonna cost you like your whole land, property, everything to maintain this bike. It is expensive to the power of 1. I don't even have words, man. That's how expensive it is to actually maintain the best of the best, the S1000Rr M Sport.